Okay, here we are, episode 15, and it's getting late. Your leader, your commissioner, your role model is not in a good place right now. I am feeling bad about my future in this league. And the one thing I'm happy about is we got a nice new sponsor, Redbreast, single pot still Irish whiskey, aged 12 years. But I'll tell you right now, in fact, I am in a dark mood and in a dark place. And I'll tell you, we're going to get to it towards the end, why I'm in such a dark place. But the gray clouds are surrounding me from all sides. I can't get the Redbreast open, and I'll do that in a minute. There's no light in my life right now. And to quote Andy, I cannot enjoy anything if I lose in fantasy football. But your commissioner will not go gently into that good night. I will rage against the dying of the light, Dylan Thomas. So week 10 is behind us, and what a week it was. But episode 15 is epic, and I'll tell you why it's epic. I have some special guests in studio, and we haven't had people in studio in a while, but we have one owner in the league who's coming on and will play spoiler. He's going to be here in a minute, and he can come on whenever he's ready. I'll turn on his mic. But we have a very, very special guest before we get into talking about week 10 and talking about week 11 and potential playoffs. So why don't you come into view, come into camera. We'll show the special guest. Your mic is live right now. And here he is in studio. Uncle Jay, slide in there, Jay, so you can get on camera. There you go. Check. You're live. So we have Jay. Uncle Jay's here for he wants to come on the show. He wants to give some of his picks. I'll give you guys a quick rundown. All I hear about is how hot he is on the college football, and he threw Texas A&M at me this morning, giving, I want to say, 18 and a half. And they were down 16 and a half. They were down 30-3 at half. They came back and won, which I was rooting against them because they weren't going to cover the spread. They came back and won. It was one of the biggest comebacks in NCAA football history. They won 31-30, but Uncle Jay's bet was Texas A&M laying the 16 and a half. I lost that bet by 15 and a half and lost my money. So I'm pouring a Redbreast. He also gave me, what was the other game he gave me?
I gave you a couple of them.
Well, what was the other one you gave me?
They just started.
There was another one that was a bad one.
No.
No? Okay.
Well,
what was the other one that was bad, that lost? Indiana.
Well, Indiana
was given how many? 19?
No. It was like 28 and a half. But I had that.
28 and a half.
That game. It was like third. They won like 31.
Yeah, they didn't cover.
They didn't cover, but they covered in a parlay I had.
Well, I didn't have. Well, they didn't. So you teased it. Alternate spreads. I don't do that.
Yeah. Whatever.
Well, okay. So
I got Utah. I gave you, and the other one.
Well, that's still early though.
I like.
So if I'm doing my math now, if I'm looking at my balances, I'm 0 for 2 right now, based on what you've given me.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's all I was covering, and that's why I pour myself a wonderful Redbreast. Why don't we get our other guest in studio? Come on set for us. I'll get my Redbreast box out of the way. I'll get the bottle out of the way. And here he is, official owner, and spoiler in 2024, 2020, 2025, 2026 season, David Krall Jr. So, David, your mic is on. Everything's on. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
I know you don't have the headset, but that's okay. So we got Uncle Jay here. Uncle Jay is not in the league, the greatest fantasy football league ever, but he begged me to be on the show, and I acquiesced, even though he was 0 for 2 in his early picks. But he wanted to give some of the owners of this league some NFL picks. And Jay, can we call them automatic, or how do we feel about these bets?
I feel pretty strongly.
Okay. Do you have them rated? If you're gonna rattle them off, is it rated best pick to worst pick, or worst pick to best, or is it just random?
I think it's pretty random.
Pretty random. Can you come on set a little more? You're leaning off. You got half your head on there.
I feel pretty good about.
Okay, so why don't you get? And nobody cares about any other fantasy football league because this is the best fantasy football league. But why don't you give us a 2-second rundown of the league you're in, tell us your record, and I guess you could share your team name, but I'll probably have to edit it out. But why don't you do?
My team name is Wrong Hole. I'm tied for first. 7. What the hell was that? 7-3.
Wrong hole.
With
You're 7-3.
I'm 7-3, tied with
Ooh.
Jason Crone.
We don't know. We don't want to get into the names.
Anyway,
Let me ask you one other question. So we have an owner in our league that's also, I believe, in your league, and says he dominates in your league because
he's never hasn't made the playoffs ever. I don't think.
Wow. Because I'll tell you right now, he started the season. He's been in the league, what, 2 years, Dave, in our league? He started the season, his record was 9-19 in this league.
Yeah, no,
this year he's 2-8.
Yeah, he actually has a decent team in our league.
What's his record? What's his record?
He's 6-4. He was tied with me for first, but I beat him last week.
Okay.
So he's 6-4.
That's a big game.
Yeah, it was
a big game. All right, so are you in first, or where are you?
First.
Okay. And how many? You 14 weeks in the playoffs?
15 weeks.
15 weeks. Wow. And what about your trade deadline? I'm just curious.
I think
we just set ours.
Might be next week.
Okay, yeah, we set ours already because shenanigans in the league. Okay, so Uncle Gary is no better in your league than he is in our league. Well, he's a little bit better, I guess.
He's in year, but he's never
traditionally he's at the bottom.
Yeah, he's usually pretty bad.
Okay, all right. Well, then that he's consistent. Then I would say. So let's. I know you don't want to stay on the whole show. You're welcome to stay in studio the whole show, but that's up to you. I know you got a lot going on. Why don't you give us some picks? And do you have any other college late games, West Coast College? You want to give anybody?
Games that already started the 7:00 games. Jack,
go ahead. You're good. You're good. You hit the.
I liked Utah, and I liked. I forget the other game I told you.
Okay.
Utah and. I actually like TCU a little bit.
Who are they playing?
Everybody like BYU.
BYU?
I like TCU.
All right. Well.
But I was going against everybody else on that, so I didn't do anything. But
okay.
Anyway.
All right. So tell us your NFL pick for
things I liked. I liked the 9:30.
Oh, it's in. Where is it in?
I think it's in Spain.
I think. Do you know where the game is, Dave?
Not sure where it's being played.
Yeah.
I believe Spain.
Okay. Well, it's 9:30. 9:30 kickoff.
Miami -2.5 over the Redskins.
That's the Spain game. Miami and the Redskins.
I think so. Yeah.
Commanders, by the way.
Okay.
Go ahead. That's fine. So you like Miami giving 2.5?
Yes.
Okay.
I like Carolina.
Who are they playing?
Getting 3.5 against Atlanta.
Okay. Where's that game at?
Let me see. That game is.
Where's the game? Okay, go on. And are we doing individual bets? Or are we parlaying this? What are we doing?
These are just individual bets.
Okay.
That's in Atlanta, by the way.
So you like Miami, and you like
Miami are technically home, but it's in. I think it's in Spain. I like Carolina.
Carolina given. What did you say?
Getting 3.5 against the Falcons.
Okay.
Check.
Yep, you're good. Go ahead.
And I like Houston in Tennessee playing. I think 6.
You like Houston giving 6 to Tennessee?
Yes.
In Tennessee?
Yes.
Okay. Straight bets.
Those are my 3 straight bets.
Those are your 3 locks of the year.
Yeah, I like them.
Okay.
Nothing's ever a lock.
What else you got on there?
I have a couple of props.
Go ahead. Fire away.
These I would probably do alternate numbers. I like a couple of receiving props. I like Jefferson.
Jefferson, what? Anytime touchdown or something?
Yards.
Oh, okay. What is it?
I think it's it's going to be low 70s. So I would probably do.
Who are they playing?
Do it. Minnesota. He's on Minnesota.
Who are they playing? Oh boy.
Minnesota are playing.
Are you doing any research, or are you just picking out?
Playing the Bears.
Okay. Well, I like that bet too.
And the other one I liked was Waddle in the early game.
Waddle, what yards you talking?
I think he was like 70, mid 70s. So
okay.
I would probably drop those each down maybe a few yards and do like a parlay.
Oh, do what? What do you call it? Alternate
numbers.
Let me just look real quick.
Maybe go like over 70 on both of them for yards. For Jefferson and Waddle.
Let me. Who is Jefferson, David? Do we know? Or let's look at. here's Jefferson, right? So let's just go to Jefferson. You're saying you like Jefferson over 70?
Well, what is it? 71 and a half?
I don't know. You tell me. You
I
bet.
think it was 71 and a half last. Well, I'm just, that's the last time I looked.
So his last 2 weeks, Baltimore he had 37 yards. Detroit he had 47 yards. He had 74, 79, 120. So over 71 or whatever for Jefferson's probably a pretty solid bet, especially following 2 bad weeks in Chicago. I don't think they're that great against the pass. And what was Waddle?
Waddle, I think he was like 74.
Let's look at Waddle's numbers real quick. You're saying 70 something. Waddle. Yeah, Waddle hasn't had less than 82 in 3 weeks. He had 15, but every other week. That's probably approved. They plan to play in Washington. I like that bet.
Yeah.
I like that bet a lot.
Maybe bring those numbers down to like 70, 65, 70 and do a parlay with them. And I like the, what's his name? The guy, Harvey, anytime touchdown.
Who are they playing?
The Denver?
He's on Denver.
Yeah, I know. They're playing KC.
Okay.
And Dobbins is after the season now.
And Dobbins
I think he was plus 130 when I saw it, unless that's moved.
Huh.
But that seemed like
that's a nice bet. I like that. All right. I like your prop bets more than I like your lines, but I'm just
see what happens.
That's my opinion, right? That's my opinion.
After I win them all, you have me.
Well, I'll definitely throw some money on those bets, even though today I got wiped out with your, as I mentioned, your Texas A&M laying 16 and a half and Indiana laying 28 or whatever, 18 and a half or 19, and they both ended up. It was 28 and a half. God damn. Okay, well, I'm 0 for 2.
Well, let's see what's going on with the. Hold on, with the games right now. They just started. I have.
David, any thoughts on any of these picks while Uncle Jay looks that up?
I mean, listen, usually when you go through picks, it's bang, bang, bang.
You would think, right?
We didn't get that.
Well, he didn't know who they're playing.
Let's just say he didn't get me excited.
A lot of things.
I hear you.
They could be great picks, but I'm not excited.
Well, I would think if you're doing the research, you would know if it's home or away. You'd know who they're playing. You would know a little bit of history about how many yards they've had. But Uncle Jay was hot at college football last year. This year, maybe not so much. How are you doing so far this year with your college football?
Okay, not great, but good. I'm not losing money. Let's put it that way.
Okay, well that's good. That's good.
So,
unlike Mikey and Maddie, who lose every week. Okay, well, the what?
Can I leave now?
You do whatever you want. You stay in studio. You can shut down. I'll mute. You want to say anything else before you head out? Thanks for joining. I'll tell you that. I
just wanted to give you my picks and see how I do, and you can have me back if I do well.
You're welcome back anytime, Jay. And I appreciate the insight into Uncle Gary because he tells us how he dominates that other league.
I don't know where he come up with that.
I don't know. I don't
remember the last time he's been in the playoffs.
Wow.
I'll have to look it up.
All right. Well, if next time you come back, give us some history on that league.
I will. I'll find
because we certainly keep our stats in the greatest football league ever.
His team is decent this year, but I'd say it's probably a decent shot that he makes the playoffs this year.
How many teams in that league?
10.
All right, same as us. How many? 6 make it?
4 make it.
4. Oof.
Yeah.
Okay, 6 make it. We do $50. We just do $50.
Like $250.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. But we do. The kids started the league when they were 5, so
right.
Not until I got in the league did they start having any kind of prize money. And then we do first round bye for the top 2. Do you have divisions in your league, or is it just?
No.
Yeah, we got. I'm commissioner this year, first year commissioner, and I abolished the divisions because they were stupid.
Only 10 teams. Why would you?
Exactly. Thank you.
Makes sense.
So I will say, Jay, and you're not up to speed on this, but I'm sure your fantasy football ears have been ringing because we had 2 issues. Uncle Gary, to start this season, was on probation because of his record and his inability to really add to the league, let's say. And then Pat Jr. didn't set a team 2 weeks ago, gave Johnny a free win, had Scattaboo in there on IR.
You see, should be kicked out for something.
Well, I gave a warning, and I said if it happens again,
Fined.
well, if it happens again, we would demand that he get a co-owner, and your name has certainly been floated around for that. And my comment on episode, I'll say 14 or 13 was, if Uncle Jay got involved and was Pat's GM, Pat would be right in the playoffs. He was 5-1. He's 6-5 right now. He hasn't set his team.
Yeah. How do you do that?
He hasn't set his team.
5-5.
He's 5-5. So
4 straight losses.
Yeah, 4 straight losses. So he if he does it again, you might get a call from this league, and we'd be honored to have you in the league. You wouldn't be an owner, but you would run his team because he'd be on probation.
Well, he should at least be on probation now after doing that.
I gave him a verbal warning. He's a core member. They core 6.
Right.
So I have to be careful and tread lightly. But he did get a warning. Happens again, he's gonna be forced to have a co-owner. And then if it happens again, then obviously we'd have to do something.
Maybe I'll give him a call and.
I mean, he might even want you as a co-owner. He might even want you as a co-owner. Yeah. So anyway, so your ears probably were ringing. You are very respected throughout fantasy football, not only in this league but in other leagues. I'm sure you're aware of that. And we'll see how your picks do. And you're welcome to stay in studio, like I said. I know you have a lot going on. You have meetings. So if that's it, I'll mute the mic and call it a day. But open invite.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Open invite.
To all the owners of
Listen to that. Thanks for joining.
Yes.
Thanks for joining. All right, let me see. I got to kill his mic. It's killed. David, you're good. We're going to slide over. Wow, how about that? I'll let you know. How about that, folks? How about that? Wow, what a special guest. I don't know if the picks are going to hold up, but what a special guest. And this league just continues to impress. So, David, get your phone out. We're going to go through a couple things. We're going to run through my notes. We're already 17 minutes into the episode, but I'll tell you that was worth it. And I'll tell you what, if I'm Pat Jr., I'm getting on the phone right now. I'm texting Uncle Jay. I'm begging him to be my GM. Begging him. Because I'll tell you what, if Pat gets him as the GM, Pat rides right to the playoffs. Davey, you might even want to think about it. I know you're engaged. You get some bad breaks. But you get a mind like that, in your front office. That's impactful. That's impactful.
Yeah, it is. Well,
something to think about for next season.
Don't forget, not incoming on this season, but the previous year, I was going to give co-ownership to Christian Manueli.
That's right.
6-4.
That's right.
And some things happened. Begrudgingly, people I walked away from the league.
Yeah.
And then I was.
Oh, that's right.
With very little draft preparation. This was last year.
That's right.
With very little draft preparation, I was.
And that's when one owner left, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And listen, my flirting with the idea of taking a back seat and using my leverage as an owner to bring people into the door, and then hand off day-to-day coaching operations to another would-be potential coach was in only the league's best interest. So you see how that someone who I was going to hire, but his visa didn't go through or something along those lines. You see how he's performing this year. He's 6-4, having a good year, three straight wins, and poised to beat Maddie this week.
Yeah, I will tell you, Dave. I don't mean to interrupt you. You might have the best podcast voice I've ever listened to. I could just listen to. I didn't hear a word you said. I just was listening to your voice. It is angelic.
I appreciate that.
Angelic.
Well, I put food on the table by presenting and speaking in public and talking to people. So I do have a lot of practice. But it doesn't ever. You always got to prepare and expect the unexpected, and then it puts you in a good position. So when things go awry, they say that your worst fears are always worse than reality. So if you prepare yourself well, you should be in a good spot.
That is. It's angelic. I don't know how else to describe it, but what a voice. Thanks for being here. And now let's dive into, we've got Uncle Jay at the ready to jump in. I'm glad you brought up the history of your team, because that's right, you had Christian
Yeah.
You had Christian under contract.
He was under contract, yep.
And then
another opportunity came up. And listen, I can't blame the guy.
yeah,
He
to
gets
get
an
into
opportunity.
this league, Dave,
That's what I mean.
It's
hard.
like
it's a wait list because
it's like a lottery.
you go from being a potential co-owner, potentially, running stuff behind the scenes to now being having your own franchise. So.
And he's been successful.
Yeah, no, he's had a good year. Had a good year.
That's too bad. But listen, Uncle Jay is at the ready. He's an impressive owner. He understands the league. He understands the sport. I think he'd be a welcome addition to the league, but that's for Pat to decide and maybe the league to look at in the offseason in the summer meetings. With that, let's get to, again, I started the episode with talking about what a dark place I'm in, and I'm going to get to that, and you're going to see exactly why your commissioner is just distraught, inconsolable, and really in a dark place, and we're going to get to that. But let's talk a little bit about Week 10's behind us, and what a week it was, David. I mean, just amazing. And let's take a look, as we do for the last probably 4 weeks, let's take a look at the standings, because the standings are unbelievable. As it stands, and as it usually stands this time of year, UG is in last place again. He's at 2-8. He's out of the playoffs for another year. Now we have confirmation that he's horrible in his other league, even though he tells us how good he is. He's out. David Jr., you're sitting at 2-8. You're out of the playoffs, as mentioned
1%.
in the last open. So you have 1%. Okay. 1%. You're not mathematically out, but you're hanging on by a thread. But, Dave, I've said it for a few weeks now. You're going to play spoiler down the stretch. In fact, Dave, you play all playoff contenders to finish the season except Maddie, right? Yep. Nobody cares about Maddie, which is
Mike,
great.
Matt, Pat.
Andy, you have Andy this week, which you're sitting at what percent?
I'm at around 30%. Andy's projected 370, so it's
well, you
tough.
Never know.
His RB1's projected like 75 points.
Who's his RB1? Achan?
Yeah. So I think that's an under.
Yeah.
I think he'll probably put up more than that. Honestly,
okay.
I think he'll probably put up 90. Like I think, historically speaking, when there's that lofty of a projection, it's just a formality.
Yeah.
You can't put 100 in a projection, but I think Achan could literally have 100 points.
He might. Well, we'll see, right? You never know. He pops a hamstring in first quarter, and then. So you got Andy, then you play Mikey.
Yep.
You play Matty, and you finish with Pat Jr.
That's right.
And let me tell you something. All eyes on the Pat Jr. matchup, and I'm going to get to that in a little while as well. It leads to why I'm in a dark mood. Now, Matty, Mr. Irrelevant now. No, it's funny. The first 8 weeks of the season, all we talk about is Matty comes on with his rings. Mm-hmm. He sits at 3-7. He stinks. Technically, he's not out of it yet, but there's no pulse. There's certainly no brain activity, and the plug is being pulled by Cheech as we speak. He changed his name. Cheech did to Gut Love, which I love much better than the other one. Cheech is at 68% after Henderson puts up 69.5. He went nuts
against the Jets.
Against the lowly Jets.
That just traded away.
They're horrible. Brees Hall gave Cheech 20.
Yeah.
And Drake May gave him 39. Yeah. And Drake May's been consistent. Cheech has done a great job. But that Henderson trade, I don't know who he traded. Do you know how he got Henderson? I don't remember how he got him.
I think it was a trade with Matty, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
But what a trade. Henderson's been going crazy.
Really good. Yeah, he's looked really good. Drake May's been solid all year.
Yeah.
Listen, I think points-wise, he's paid off. I still think he got him too early. He could have waited a little while.
Drake. Draft. I would agree.
He's been great. I mean, he's proven that he is worthy of being picked when he was picked.
Yeah.
Although I think he could have,
Yeah. No, I agree.
But that said, he's had a great year, and he's been a pivotal point of Christian's, winning record this year is Drake May. So.
And in the middle of the pack, which we've had this conglomerate of teams, all with a ton of talent, but all kind of nobody's pulling away from the pack. It's like the New York Marathon, and we're all running 8-minute miles together. Mikey, Andy, Cheech, Nipples, Uncle Dave, all tied at 6-4. Andy at the top of that list, so Andy would be sitting with the first round bye in the playoffs if it started today, which they do not. Everybody at 6-4, which is amazing, and then Pat Jr. sits now at 5-5. With 4 straight losses.
Well,
and on probation.
I think Mike made this point maybe a few weeks ago. This was early in the season. This was when Pat started to have his slide. I think it was 2 losses in a row. And then, he didn't set his lineup, and that happens. But Mikey mentioned that Pat always drafts very strong, and what hurts him is, come middle of the season, he loses some focus, loses some momentum, doesn't play the waiver wire maybe as religiously as others do.
Yep.
And Matty would be the first to say he's got the range for a reason. Let's say that start off there. If you ask him what's the most important thing, I mean, you got your top picks have to perform.
Yeah.
First and foremost.
Oh, yeah.
Second thing, you got to be active on the waiver wire, right? Because that's how leagues are won and lost.
Well, who's your pick that?
Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Yeah.
He was unbelievable last year.
Yeah, he had a great year. This year, he put up. I think I did the math last week. He had like 6 weeks over 60 points
last year.
Last year, and this year I think he has no weeks over 55.
And he's getting beat up now. He's out.
Listen, it is what it is. We're looking forward to next year. I still have 1% chance. I made some moves to try and keep things fresh.
Have you ever not set your lineup?
No.
Yeah. Okay. That's my point. That's my point.
If I have a waiver priority and there's
you're jumping on it.
I'm jumping on a waiver priority. Like someone who's waiver 2 isn't gonna, like Mariota, for example. I'm waiver wire 1, right? Jaden Daniels gets jumped out. Not that it's like, oh, I'm brilliant for picking up Mariota.
Davis Mills.
Yeah, and he had
Davis
65.
Mills went nuts. I made fun of him for that.
But listen, I'm just saying,
great job.
You can only do what you can do.
I would say, Dave, I criticize just about every owner, right? And your record is what it is, and no excuses.
Abhorrent. I abhor my record.
No excuses.
Yeah, none. I have no excuses.
You make moves. You only try to make your team better, and you're in every week. You're in your matchup until something goes south on you.
Yeah,
right?
Listen, it's
so it happens.
She goes.
Yeah, it's the way she goes. But I really do think, and we're going to get to your final week matchup against Pat Jr. And I'll tell you,
could be impactful. Not for me
it's going to be impactful. I'm going to show you.
Listen, if I beat Andy, it would have to take a miracle.
Yep.
Andy's at 370. I mean, it would take a lot it would take my team would have to be solid, and his team would have to have a complete sheer and utter collapse.
Yeah.
The other matchups, Mikey and Maddie, are more favorable. I think Maddie specifically, I have maybe that should be a game that I go into that week expecting to win. Historically, wouldn't always be the case. Mikey will be a tough matchup.
Yep.
But if I'm able to win these next weeks in a row, and I come down to Pat, in the final week to potentially, what would that be, 6 and 8?
We're gonna get to that, Dave.
To be 6 and 8.
We're gonna get to that game, and
could be a spoiler for Pat if things continue to slide.
Forget about spoiler. You have to win that game, and I'm going to get to that. I don't want to play spoiler with the episode. So let me just keep going through Week 10 finals. Ryan sits at 8-2.
Yep.
However, he had a chink in the armor.
Some injury bugs too.
Gut Love cleaned out his system all over Ryan last week. And Cheech, I'll tell you, is peaking at the right time. His team is looking good. He beat up on Ryan, humiliated Ryan, and now Ryan is at top and probably will get a bye, but he sits at 8-2, and now he's within striking distance of the pack. So, Dave, with that, any other comments? I think we're good with Week 10. I think we love how the league is as far as parity. There's so many teams right there. Mm-hmm. But let's dive in now to Week 11 with only 4 weeks left in the regular season, which is insane how fast this goes. Let's talk about the matchups. If you get your phone ready, and we'll go through and talk about what's going on down the stretch and what we think is going to happen. I'm going to give you my thoughts, obviously, because there's some things that are really, really weighing heavy on my mind. But first, I'm going to quick, Dave, run through the Thursday night games. Obviously had a huge impact for you. Well, had somewhat of an impact for you.
Right on his projection. It's nothing.
Yeah, as mentioned, Henderson for Cheech went off again. Great trade. Cheech also had May with 39, back to normal, and Brees Hall with 20. It's a jet. Matt had 7 from the Pats D, which nobody cares about Matty anymore. Myself and Ryan had no players. Andy had Hunter Henry with his 22 we talked about, Dave. And you didn't have anybody playing. Nipples, UG had no players. Pat Jr., which, interesting enough, seemed to wake out of his slumber, starting Diggs, who had 55.5 and is making some noises at 46% right now, which is it's nice to see Pat waking up and getting back engaged.
Yeah, definitely. It's good to see Pat having the lineup in there. I will also mention he has Kenneth Gainwell in his RB2 spot with a couple
Are you being critical of that?
I'm not being critical. I mean, I'm just saying who he has available. He has the 36 projected, point running back on his
you're saying
bench,
he should.
I'm saying. I'm not saying he should or shouldn't do anything. I'm just saying. And Chase Brown's been
on and off
this year, so listen, I understand. But there's a discrepancy that you can't help but not notice when someone's projected, over 35 points and they're pushed to the bench.
Let's go in order how I have him, right? So Maddie's at 3-70 right now.
Yep.
He's playing Cheech at 6-4.
Yep.
We kind of covered where they're at right now. What do you think happens there with Maddie and Cheech?
Listen, I think the projections tell a different story that I think will unfold. Christian's got 3 wins in a row, projected 350. Maddie's 1 loss in a row, projected 311.
Yep. Cheech is at 68%.
Christian's at 68%. I think we'll have a light week from CeeDee Lamb, despite playing a pretty bad defense in Las Vegas. I just think it'll be one of those games where it'll be a Christmas morning for everyone but CeeDee.
Okay.
I could easily be wrong. I mean, he's an unbelievable talent.
Okay.
That said, I do think Nico Collins will have a big week. So I think Christian pulls away with that one. I think it'll be right around the projected.
Yeah, I agree.
I think Christian 340, Maddie 325.
Okay, I think that's right. And let's go to matchup number 2, which is myself. I'm at 6-4. I play Ryan, who's at 8-2. This is a tough one for me. I have one of my best players on, 2 of my players on bye, which is really good, really bad. So I had Downs and Taylor. I have players that are out, and I'm at 43%, which is better than I thought. I've won 4 straight, so I'm one of the hottest teams in the league. But I think I might have a tough time this week.
Ryan also has a 0 spot with his tight end right now. Laporta's on the IR, so we'll have to shake that up in the tight end position. So expect some more points.
Devontae Adams is questionable.
Devontae Adams is questionable. He's been great for him this year. He does have Shakir who can throw into that spot. I mean, maybe we'll see what else if he gets creative and finds some other value on the waiver wire that others aren't seeing. But he will have to pick up another tight end, so you can expect that projection.
I'm gonna go, get in the
30s. Probably something like that, maybe 35%. I do think you're on a hot streak right now, but any roster that has Jerry Jeudy in it is not going to win. So you're going to lose.
I know.
I think Ryan will score 350. I think you have 315.
Yeah.
But
I know. I know. I think you're right. I think I don't make it out of this week in a positive light.
Yeah, I mean, it's just Ryan's team has been hot.
Yeah,
and listen,
he's good.
And JSN's been unbelievable. Puka's been unbelievable.
And nobody's won 5 straight this year.
Is that so?
Yeah, 4-game winning streak's the most. So I'm at 4 games, which and it talks about the parity of the league. So let's go to the next matchup. Andy at 6-4 versus you at 2-8. We already talked about Andy being at 74%.
72.
We kind of 72. Yep. Sorry, we kind of covered it. Anything else you want to talk about? You think you pull it out? I think Andy wins it, but you could tell me what you think.
I mean, it's a big gap as far as projections go. Obviously, we see how one drive can make a week for somebody. Yeah, it's going to be a tough matchup for me. I need real production from my running backs this week because I don't see it from the wide receiver core that I have.
I think it's a tough one. Yeah.
I think it's a tough matchup. I'm gonna stick with my I'm never gonna say that I'm gonna lose a week. Yeah. So I think I have that big week. I think Jahmyr Gibbs puts up a big week.
Yeah, he had 70-something last week, right?
Yeah, so I think he has. Yeah. I'm hoping he has like an 80-pluser, big game back to back. And we'll see if the supporting cast can.
And listen, Bo Nix against Kansas City is going to struggle, if you ask me. Warren, who knows what you're going to get out of him. Rashid Rice against Denver's a tough matchup. Uncle Jay's Point Waddle's probably going to have some numbers. McConkey's been hot and cold, so I don't think you're dead. I think it's going. You need some. I need
like I said before, I need a sheer and utter collapse from Andy's team.
Yeah. We'll see. You never know. But I think Andy wins that in my projections going forward. But good luck.
Thank you.
Next game we have Nipples, who's at 6-4 against Uncle Gary. Nipples moves to 7-4. I don't think anybody doubts that. I don't even think we cover Uncle Gary any longer, especially after the news from his other league. He's projected 280, which is laughable.
He's got a couple players that he could swap in and out, but I don't know how much it's going to help.
No, his team's horrible.
I think any moves that he does make, although they would be welcome. Like he has R.J. Harvey sitting there. I imagine he moves him into a starting spot. Maybe sits Aaron Jones or something like that.
Yeah.
Just
Harrison
he's going to
Jr.'s
get
out.
the workflow.
Yeah.
He's going to get the workload.
Yeah.
Harrison being out hurts.
Yeah, that
he got
hurts
appendicitis,
him.
so he has.
Is that what happened?
I'm glad he got that taken care of. Everything is all right. But he did have an appendectomy, from what I understand.
I had that when I was 7.
Yeah. Excellent.
Little fun facts for the audience. Pat Jr. This is the final game of the week for us to cover.
Yeah.
Pat Jr.'s at 5-5 and falling like a rock. Mikey's at 6-4. But Junior's showing some fight, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I like Pat this week.
Yeah.
I think Diggs giving him a nice head start. Almost 60 points is a huge lift. Otherwise he might be in the 30s projected wise. So listen, he's going to have to get some production. He has some possible movement to make from his bench into his starting lineup, so we could see that even out, maybe like 50-50.
Chase Brown, you mean?
As far as projections go.
Yeah.
But I think Mikey's team pulls it out. I will say that Drake London questionable tag, might have him in some hot water. I mean, he only has one player he can throw in there on his bench.
That's right.
And that's Tucker, who's been. And so we'll see how Drake London enters tomorrow.
We talked a lot about Mikey's team last episode and how vulnerable it is. He has no running backs. If Dowdle or Rashid White gets hurt, he's got nothing, right? And Bucky Irvin might be out for the year now. Like, he's just not coming back.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
So, and Fields, I know he had 44 last week, but it was a bad 44.
I think Pat and Mikey might be matched for the week. Because
I think so. It's a huge game. Huge game.
If Mike loses, he's 6-5. Pat wins, he's 6-5, and that can shake some things up because we've seen Pat's roster, be very hot. So it's definitely something that if he can get hot at the right time, his team could make some noise. I mean, he's got a couple good players.
Yeah,
he's going to need some good performances from the folks that he has out there, especially tomorrow. But we'll know. It's going to come down to Monday night. Mikey's got Pickens on Monday.
Yeah.
Pat's got everyone on Sunday. So it's going to come down to a Pickens performance, I think.
Yeah.
But it might not even. If Pat's team's quiet, then we could see Mike,
But if Mikey gets a running back injury, he's
yeah. I mean, you could say that for any team.
Yeah, that's but he doesn't have anybody. He's anyway. We'll see what happens. I think Pat Jr. wins this one. But let me go through, Dave. This is where I'm getting to the point where when I opened up this episode to tell you how distraught I am right now. So here's how we have it. We just went through the matchups. I think we agree for the most part. I understand you taking yourself, but I went the other way. And if I'm right, here's what I have is this after through 11 weeks, this is what I have. UG at 2-9. Yeah. You're at 2-9. Maddie's at 3-8. Pat Jr. wins and gets right back into it at 6-5. And this is where I get nervous. Ryan beats me, I go to 6-5. Mikey is at 6-5, right? So now I'm on the outer cusp, right? Us three are fighting for that spot. Andy's at 7-4. Cheech is at 7-4 with 4 straight wins. Nipples is at 7-4. Ryan clinches the playoff spot, goes to 9-2. So right, so who gets in out of the pack, right? And now what we're going to go through. So we're going to go through the remaining schedule. And I went through every team, and this is where you're going to see this is where I'm really, really nervous. So Ryan plays Johnny, Andy, Mikey. Let's say Ryan goes 2-1. He's at 11-3, right? He's done. Ryan's got a first round bye. Andy has UG, Ryan, and you. So let's say Andy goes 2-1. He's at 10-4, first round bye. That's whatever. Let's assume that, right? Johnny has Ryan, me, Cheech. Let's say Johnny goes 2-1. In the last 3, he gets the 9-5, and Johnny's team is good. Cheech has me, Pat Jr., Nipples. Let's say he goes 1-2 based on my projections. Right? He's at 8-6. Mikey has you, his daddy, and Ryan. Let's say he goes 2-1. Mikey's at 8-6. Pat Jr. has Maddie, Cheech, and you. Right? He goes to 2-1. He's at 8-6. Here's where I'm really, really upset. I have Cheech, Nipples, and Andy. If I lose this week, which I'm probably going to, I'm at 7-7 if I go 1-2 the last 3, which I very well can, and I'm out of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I can't even think about it. But as a professional, as the commissioner of this league, this is what I'm so afraid of.
Well,
this is why I'm drinking on episode 15, because I think this, Dave, if you look at my notes, I think this could happen.
Yeah.
You never know. Somebody gets an injury. So what I'm hoping is Pat Jr. beats Mikey this week, right? Because then that puts me right back in it. I need someone else to get to 7-7. And I'm not seeing it right now. Yeah. Tell me what you think. Am I crazy? Am I being irrational? Am I just being I don't know. I have a really, really bad feeling, even though I have a good team and I've had a great year. I have a bad feeling about being 7-7 and out of the playoffs.
Well, listen, like if you're not, assuming the worst, you're not putting yourself in a position to be successful. I will say, if we're looking at points for, we're just talking sheer scoring here. You're right up there.
That's why I need somebody else to be 7-7, or
so you're third in points for.
I'll win the tiebreaker.
I will also say, however, points against, you've been very fortunate in your points against. You hope that the tides can continue in that direction.
What do you think of that, though? You see my notes right there. What do you think? Where I have to beat Cheech.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then let's say I beat Cheech. I'm projecting I'm going to beat Cheech.
Yeah.
I got to beat Nipples and Andy.
Well, I just think,
and that's why, Dave. Back to this. You have to beat Pat Jr.
What I was going to say is
you beat Pat Jr. I'm in the playoffs, Dave.
So who do you have in Pat's 2?
I have Pat beating you and beating Maddie and losing to Cheech.
Yeah.
But if he loses to you
or Maddie,
or if he goes 1-2, I'm in because he has no points. Or Mikey. Mikey's not going to lose to his daddy. So if you beat Mikey or you beat Pat, I get in.
Yeah, we'll see.
It's unbearable. It's unbearable.
Yeah, it's you never want to be out of the hunt, but it is exciting considering there's a 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a 5-team tie.
I know
for being 2 games back. So it's very interesting. I think really all eyes are on Pat. I think all eyes are on Pat for one reason. If he could find how he started the season, that rhythm, I think Pat could find himself safely in a playoff position.
If he re-engages, I don't want him. If he goes 8-6, I'm dead. I'm out, Dave.
So we'll see.
Unless
we'll see what happens.
Mikey's not losing to his daddy. It's not going to happen.
I think not.
And Cheech is not going to lose all 3, right? Cheech is not going to. Well, he could. Cheech could lose to me, Pat, and Nipples, and then Cheech is out. But yeah, it's so. You tell me, Dave, right now, as we wind down episode 15, who doesn't make the playoffs?
I think it's as it stands right now. I think it's Pat, Maddie, myself, Uncle Gary.
Okay, 4. I hope so. I
think that's how it ends.
And you think Andy and Ryan have the first round bye?
I think. Or
do you think Nipples gets up there? I think Johnny's the only one who really could make the run. I
actually think Christian can make the run.
Okay. All right.
Because he's got some. Let's look at Christian's team real quick. He's got some good scorers. He had some okay matchups this week, but I think Christian has a chance to win out here, and if Christian wins out, he could find himself with that other.
Here's my issue with Christian, and I've said it all year, and he's proved me wrong. The only thing I would say is Pearsall's coming back, but I'm not a believer in Drake May.
I'm not a believer in Drake May either.
I don't like. You can't have Brees Hall in your lineup. You have Brees Hall in your lineup, you're not going to win.
Well, I don't know about that, but I don't think it's Brees Hall lineup. I think it's just a jet in general.
Exactly.
But now they're missing a couple more people. Garrett Wilson might miss some time.
He was out. Garrett Wilson's out.
Yeah, so that's some more.
I had him on my.
You think Brees will catch passes in those instances, but the Jets just don't have any coherent scheme or anything like that. So you almost feel bad for Brees Hall. Actually, you really almost do.
I
almost feel bad.
guarantee he wanted to get traded.
He sees the guys who were traded, and he probably sees like, it'd be nice to go play on a contender or something like that. Go play on the Rams.
Well, how about what's his face went to Gardner went to the Colts?
Exactly. Yeah, go play. Yeah, exactly.
First
go
place
play
team.
for a contender or something like that. It would be he'd be licking his lips. But
so
I don't know. I think as it stands, the bottom four are the ones who miss out.
Okay, so you're saying Matty, you, UG, and Pat are out of the playoffs.
Me and UG are at 1%. Matty's at 6%, and Pat's at 44%.
Yeah.
So Pat's still right in there. Like I was saying,
he's
got a chance to gather some momentum.
Yeah.
But gathering momentum's tough in this league.
So who you think Andy Ryan first round buys, and then we?
I think Ryan for sure. I think as it stands right now, Andy's in a good position to have those buys as well.
Yeah.
But I think the next couple games. And
if Andy wins this week, but he plays Uncle Gary.
Yeah, that's a win. That's a win.
Yeah. But then he has Ryan and he has me.
Yeah, but I think Christian has arguably an easier path to being 3-0 out of those next three than Andy does.
See, I'm projecting that Pat he beats Pat Jr. He loses to me in the nipples. But you're right. He can go 3-0.
Yeah, I think he has an easier walk to 3-0 than Andy would. Because he's playing. I mean, Andy has me and UG.
No, Andy has me and
right. Those are two tough. I think it's easier for Christian to go 3-0, or even easier for Christian to go 2-1 than it is for Andy.
Yeah.
Despite Andy's team being red hot right now, and just living in points. So,
but I am just.
We'll see what happens.
I am so concerned because I don't feel good about this week. Yeah. And then I have to just go week by week, and if I get injuries or something. We'll see what happens. Anyway, anything else, Dave, as we end Epic episode 15? Uncle Jay in studio giving us picks. David in studio. This first time in studio, Dave?
I think so, yeah. First, I've been to the studio on before I was I had my media credentials, so I wasn't allowed to get on camera yet. My agent advised me against it. It just would be, do more harm than good. But since got the journalism pass, got the journalism credentials, so and looking forward to the future.
Yeah, real side note, just because I popped into my head. We talked about Uncle Jay potentially being a GM or a co-owner. What about Mark? Mark Rowling?
Listen, love Mark to death.
His name got thrown around too.
I love Mark to death, but that's treading on some interesting waters. There's no. I have to get a ring. Show me a ring and you can be in.
I don't disagree. He's not family.
That's what I mean.
He's not family. Yeah, I don't disagree.
But if we get a ring going and we get a date set and a venue set and something like that in the next few years, then maybe we can, the conversation
I don't
come back up.
disagree with that.
But I think as far as the list goes, we'd have Uncle Jay you've mentioned.
Yep.
But I even think that there'd be other family members that we'd look to that might not even be on a list yet that you'd look into before.
Like who?
I mean, you've thrown around Gary Cooper. You've thrown that name around.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
But I think a family tag is important. Who knows? Maybe Jack will, have a change of heart. Maybe he'll.
I'd welcome him back.
I would
welcome him back.
I would welcome him as the co-owner of my team, and I don't know if he watches these.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's got a good mind for the game.
Yeah, he does.
He knows the ins and outs of the
studies
scoring.
The game.
Yeah, he knows the game. He's got nothing but time on his hands as far as I can.
True.
As far as I can see.
Okay.
But yeah, I wish him well. I hope he's doing good. But yeah, if he wanted to.
Is he at the wedding?
My wedding?
Yeah.
As of right now.
Bubble?
I actually have to look. I actually don't remember.
I don't know.
I actually don't remember.
That's
okay.
Yeah.
I literally don't remember. I'll have to take a look.
That's fine. Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. Hopefully he comes back into our good graces. I know him and Mike and Matt. Yeah, he's a good guy. Good guy. So hope he's doing well.
And I think they're talking again. They're on talking terms.
We got a dog barking. Sorry, folks.
All right.
At home. That's our cue.
That's our cue. Everybody, thanks for joining. Uncle Jay, thanks for being a guest. Dave, thanks for being in studio. Good luck, everybody. Love you, boys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.